no, I'm not saying that this player is as good as some of the legendary performances we have seen in the past. What I'm saying instead is that we haven't seen these sets of numbers since that period. Very big difference there. Let's get into this more so as the video goes along, but today we are talking about the Vancouver Canucks, and I know there is a game later today at 7 p.m. PST against the LA Kings. I don't know if I'm going to watch it, and I really feel bad about that because we didn't make a post-game video about the Canucks losing to the Arizona Coyotes last time. I've been out and about just doing stuff, you know. It's whatever, but if we get around to the Canucks game, then I guess we can make a video about it depending on what happens, even if I don't watch it. We'll see if there's something worth talking about there. But this is yet another video about the Canucks' newest free agent signee from last offseason that has been so much better than we thought he would be, Andrei Kuzmenko. Because he scored a goal against the Arizona Coyotes the other day. It was a beautiful backdoor tap-in, and, you know, Kuzmenko has had so many really good goals this season. He's got 34 on the season now, 66 games played, 27 assists. You've got a total of 61 points, and overall, there are so many things that we could discuss when it comes to the future, the projectability. Oh, he's shooting at a 30% shooting percentage, which is totally sustainable. But I'll go out there and propose the argument that says that, hey, this guy just only really shoots when he knows it's going in. And you have tip shots that are contributing to that number as well, which make things look a lot better for him. But the reason we're making this video is because of that number. 34 goals on the season. And part of the reason I wanted to talk about this in particular is because this is the first time the Vancouver Canucks have had a 34-goal score in over a decade. The reason I say this, and the reason I think it's a big deal, is because if you've been on this YouTube channel for the past, let's just say even the past year, you kind of know how I place importance on arbitrary numbers like this. Last year, we had three, or I say we as if I'm a part of the team, the Canucks had 3 30-goal scorers last season. Elias Pettersson, JT Miller, Bo Horvat. This was significant enough for me that every time we had a 30-goal score, I made a video about it because the Canucks, up to that point, had not had a 30-goal score since Radim Verbata in 2014-15. That was the year that Jamie Benn won the Art Ross with like 80-something points. You had multiple 80-point scores, but not too many. You had Daniel Sedin as a top point scorer in the NHL with 70-something points. And the league was just so down in scoring that seeing Verbata get the 30-goal mark was a pretty big deal because he was one of the top guys in the league. It's just unfortunate that as the years went on, the Canucks went 7 years without getting a single 30-goal score until, bam, 2022 comes around and they have 3 all at the same time. Well, this season, Bo Horvat reached 30 goals before he even got traded, which is kind of nuts. He was on like a 60-goal pace with the Vancouver Canucks before getting sent over to the Islanders, but aside from Bo, the Vancouver Canucks now have Andrei Kuzmenko, who has reached that 34-goal mark. And the reason 34 is significant is because, and you could even say this about 33 goals, but I just didn't realize it until now, the Vancouver Canucks have not had a goal scorer reach 33 plus, aka 34 goals, since the 2010-2011 Cup run. And not the run itself, but the year in which the run happened, 2010-2011, you had 2 41-goal scorers in Ryan Kesler and Daniel Sedin. These were 2 of the top 10 goal-productive seasons the Vancouver Canucks have ever had, and they both happened 12 years ago. Because if you look at all the numbers after that, okay, Radim Verbata had 31 goals in 2015. Last year, you had Elias Pettersson hit 32 goals. Last year, Miller had 32 as well. You had Bo Horvat, who had 31 goals as a Canuck last year, and he had 31 goals as a Canuck this year, albeit in a significantly fewer amount of games played. 31 goals in 49 games, dude. That is absolutely insane. Elias Pettersson is also at 31 right now. Go figure. We'll see if he's able to best that in tonight's game against the LA Kings. But Andrei Kuzmenko literally has the most goals any Canuck has ever scored in a season since Daniel Sedin and Kesler. And that's why I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not saying that Kuzmenko is as good as Kesler and Daniel Sedin. Daniel Sedin was good enough in that year to win the Ted Lindsay, which was the Players Awarded MVP, given to the guy that all the players in the NHL thought was the most valuable guy. Ryan Kesler was the Selke winner that year, the best defensive forward. He pretty much single-handedly carried the Canucks past the Predators in the second round of the 2011 playoffs. Kesler was a beast, Daniel Sedin was a beast, and no Canuck has scored as many goals as Andrei Kuzmenko had this season since those two. Now, you could see in the record books here on Quant Hockey, there are so many other seasons of guys getting 33 and 34. You got Linden in the 90s, Stan Smeel in the 80s, and I get it. The NHL is in a pretty good place right now when it comes to goal scoring, point production. Andrei Kuzmenko is a point-per-game guy, almost at least, but he is nowhere near the top of the league in points like Kesler and Daniel Sedin were back when they were in their heyday. But realistically, I mean, the guy is on pace for, 42 goals in 81 games played? He's literally at half a goal a game pace, which is crazy to think since he was never really a primary goal scorer in the KHL. If Kuzmenko does get 42 goals, then he would literally surpass that Daniel Sedin and Ryan Kesler tandem season in 2010-2011. It would be the first time since 2003 any Canuck would have gotten 42 or more goals. That season, you saw Nazi and Bertuzzi doing their thing. Now, I get it, it's kind of poetic to see the Russians at the top, Bure, McGillney, Bure, because they're pretty good, if I do say so myself. But Andrei Kuzmenko is sort of on pace to maybe break in that top 10 if everything goes right, knock on wood. Everything goes well for his overall shooting percentage. He's able to keep that up. And look, Elias Pettersson is right behind him, so we'll see what happens as the year goes on. It kind of begs the question what would have happened if Bo was still here, but that's neither here nor there. It's not really worth thinking about since Bo was probably on his way out anyway. But the guy was on a pretty ridiculous scoring pace for the season. Let's just do the math on Bo. He had 31 goals in 49 games played. Man, that's so crazy. 31 divvy 49 multiplied out by 82. Yeah, Bo Horvat was on pace for 51 goals. 52, excuse me. Not 60 like we had talked about earlier in the season, but 52 goals still would have been a top 5 goal season for the Vancouver Canucks in their history books, so I mean, that was pretty good, right? But either way, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Andrei Kuzmenko, the crazy update as to the goal numbers right here. I made a video every time the Canucks had 30 last year because it was kind of a tribute to Radim Verbata and that 2015 season, but now, hey, look, the Canucks have got a guy who surpassed Verbata, who surpassed the season from last year. Andrei Kuzmenko has 34, and there are still 15 games remaining, so we'll see how many more he's able to accomplish as the year winds down. Thoughts in the comment section below, though. What are your opinions on Kuzmenko, the entire conversation, Verbata, Kesler, Daniel Sedin? Let me know your opinions on this conversation in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.